So I think this book has some hidden gems, games that maybe we don't know because we are not familiar with chess history. And in fact, game 26 against the Grandmaster Browne, it's kind of very interesting. In the time, Browne was one of the top chess players in the world, so obviously it's interesting to watch how he lost against Planinc. The game was played in Sarajevo 1970, Browne is white and he opens with e4, c5, knight f3, d6, knight c3, knight f6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, a6, bishop c4, e6, bishop b3, b5, castle, bishop e7, queen f3, obviously the threat is this, and here there is queen d7. It seems that before people would play queen b6, so the book gives you also the chance to understand the different ways they play from 1970. This was played in 1970 in Sarajevo, when later in later games they played something different. So queen d7, e4, b4, a5, and now queen b7. So the point here is probably this, no? He makes a 5, okay, but the point of queen d7 is this possibility when he plays this, and that's kind of important. So I find it kind of very interesting how they tried to solve these problems, right? So after a5 he played queen b7, knight e4, trying to enter in the new outpost, knight b d7, blocking white from exploiting the new outpost, rook e1, now he finally castles, and bishop g5. There is a note that says that practically in a game played in 1976 in Riga, they played bishop f4. That seems more logical because attack the d6 pawn. And it gives the entire line that was played in that game, showing that black would have difficulties to defend it. Now black played a good move. You can obviously pause the video every time. I give enough time to pause the video and try to think for yourself what you would play as black here. Planinc played bishop d8. Why is this a good move? Because it attacks directly this. That's why. Rook a d1, bishop takes a5, queen e2, the bishop goes back to d8. Here there is a note that doesn't make sense. We are here, right? It says black can also directly capture the d6 pawn with bishop c7. I think is not speaking about the d6 pawn. I don't know. Why bishop d7 and capture? Maybe it means he can directly protect the pawn d6 with bishop c7. maybe that's what it meant, okay? So after queen e2, bishop d8 instead of bishop c7, defending with pawn d6. f4, knight b6, king h1. Obviously in the Sicilian there is this diagonal, especially when this is moved, that is a kind of a problem. h6, bishop h4, knight a4 takes, bishop takes a4, bishop d7, and white doesn't want to exchange and plays bishop b3. Please try to notice moves like this because they show you that what a certain grandmaster likes. In this case, he doesn't want to lose the bishop pair. He doesn't want to give black probably a kind of advantage exchanging the pieces, okay? But black tries again, knight h7. It seems that it was better to attack in the center with d5. Once more, bishop g3, and this in a sense is an attack on here. Bishop b6, f5, and now it exchanged. Bishop takes d4, rook takes d4, e takes f5, bishop takes d6, wow, so d6 is gone, rook f e8, rook b4, attack, and bishop b5. Okay, so here he played queen d2, and this is sometimes the problem I have. What happens if he played c4? That's kind of interesting move, right? c4. Maybe bishop takes c4, rook takes c4. No, he could also play queen takes c4. So queen takes e4 possibility, right? Yeah. Queen takes e4, queen takes, rook takes, f takes, or yeah, f take. So I don't see why he didn't play this. Clearly there is something, but we don't have a note here to clarify this point, which would have been interesting, instead of queen d2. And this is the thing, sometimes that's why we need to take time to watch a game, we need to ask ourselves questions, and maybe the question is wrong because there is something immediately evident that shows why this move was wrong, okay? I'm not saying it's not wrong. Probably maybe it's queen c6 attacking this, so it doesn't care if you take, because when it takes back, probably that one. But sometimes it is. The problem is that we don't see it, and the author of a book doesn't help us in such a silly thing, because obviously the author of a book is a grandmaster, and for him everything is clear, while for us readers is not so clear, okay? Queen d2. So this queen d2 would make think that once he doesn't want to exchange the queens, two, he wants to protect this, and maybe now c4 is correct. So that could be the reason, okay? But in this thing here he said that he should have played e5, defending probably this, and then, but bishop takes, queen, rook takes. Yeah. Okay, yeah. e5 was better, it seems, than queen d2. As you can see, there are many candidate moves at every time, and it's kind of difficult also to rule out which one are really bad. Rook a d8, and now he plays e5. Oh, notice here I should have put a diagram, because he says that black would have a great position after c4. He would continue with knight f6. C takes b4, knight takes e4, rook b takes e4, e4, 4, queen e4, h3. Okay, so that's the point. Black would have great position after c4. So the grandmaster clearly has seen this idea, but he didn't tell us why in the beginning. Maybe it should have been better to waste a couple of words and say, look, that white wants to play c4, but he can't. Okay, let's see how it continues. After e5, e5. Wow. Rook d4, bishop c6, attacking this, h4, bishop e4, bishop e4, attacking that, rook e6, and queen takes e5 out of the way, or out of his misery. But it seems it's not so good. It seems it was better rook e takes e4. That's interesting. F takes e4 and queen a5, and then rook a8 and queen e1. Okay. Let's see what happens. Sorry, I would like to see this thing, because I cannot understand why it's better. Queen takes a5, rook a8, and queen e1. Okay. Maybe because it cannot protect the e4 pawn. But why this would have been better? I don't know. This is could be taken off. Ooh. Maybe because this kind of move takes away most of the square. I don't know. What is, why is better? Better for whom? Okay, let's return back to the position, because I don't understand why it was better for white. Okay, so this was the position. Browne just took this. Instead, in the book they say rook takes e4 was better. I don't know why. So queen a5, bishop takes g2. Boom. And here he cannot take back, because probably rook g6. And so he play king h2, rook a8, queen b5, rook g6. Okay, I don't know how a pawn went on d5. That's the interesting part. Maybe I made a kind of mistake. Sorry. Let's go back a couple of moves to that position. Okay, sorry, this was the... I don't know why I made a mistake and put a pawn here. This was when he played this, and instead he said this was better. So that's my mistake, because I then placed the thing here. Now I can understand why, because obviously the problem is this, right? So queen takes a5 is not so good, because it allows black to do this. So that's why. So now I understand that there was a pawn in the wrong position here instead of here. Okay, I don't know how that pawn moved by himself, but they always do that, probably. Rook a8, queen b5, rook g6, queen d3, and bishop e4. That is a dubious move. It seems that stronger would have been to play this, obviously, because there is still a checkmate here thanks to this. So let's see if he played bishop e4. Yeah, rook d takes e4. It's a mistake, the wrong rook. It seems it was better to take with the rook in e. That's interesting. F takes e4, and instead, watch, this would have been the move to play. Boom. So maybe, why? Obviously because if you play this is checkmate, okay? So that's why it was this, the rook to take, because then you cannot take the bishop here. Instead, when you take with this, you can take the bishop here. But Planinc didn't see it. So, since he didn't see it, good, but what difference does it make? So, f takes e4, queen e4, queen a7, now once more think about for a second, because this is interesting. I think, look, we are at move 37. It's possible they were tired or they were short of time. Once more, the move to play is this. And you say, oh, whoa, 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 what, I take this, right? No, you can't, because this is checkmate. So, as you can see, there was a theme in this part of the game that is very, very interesting. It was, and it was missed, maybe by Planinc. I don't know if Browne saw it. Maybe Browne didn't see it either. Huh? So after queen e4, queen e7, bishop b3, queen f2, check, king h1, rook g3, obviously trying to give checkmate, queen takes a8, knight f8, wow, beautiful move. Boom, bishop takes f7, obviously you cannot take, because if you take, it takes back, you move here and you lose the queen and the game. So he goes here, queen e4, king h8, bishop e6 to avoid the checkmate, knight takes e6, queen a8, knight d8. If you take, now we can finally go on the light squares and not get in check again. He did, and once he went here, Browne resigned. So a beautiful game, I think, just for that theme that was missed continuously of rook takes a4. That was really beautiful. it's kind of interesting how the game went and how they both miss such an idea. That's a kind of really interesting. So that's why it was worth to watch this game, in my opinion. A game from 1970. Now, who knows if this rook takes a4 was immediately found by the computer or it was found in post-mortem analysis. That could have been interesting to know.